The Dr. J.L. Dube High School in KwaMashu, KwaZulu-Natal, is about to get a facelift. This is thanks to the Cotton On Foundation and its ambassador, Nomzamo Mbatha's donation of 65 million rand. The upgrades will include digital learning spaces and sports facilities, among a whole range of other infrastructure upgrades. In fact, Nomzamo Mbatha joins us in studio this morning. It's so great to see you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Likewise.
And what an incredible initiative. Why this school in particular?
Well, a couple of years ago, Cotton On Foundation found eThekwini High School and donated a library. But they realized that there was a greater need to refurbish the school, to renovate the school and make it a state-of-the-art school in KwaMashu. And so the school got a facelift. But of course, when we have a rollout plan for the grade 7 learners, we want to be able to have a feeder school as well. And so Dr. J.L. Dube was the natural choice because it's named after such an iconic giant of a legend, but most importantly, because it's a school that has stood for academic excellence and just needed the extra motivation.
Wow, incredible. 42 new classrooms, that's what it'll boast when this upgrade is completed. What are some of the other features that the school will have?
Multi-purpose auditorium, multi-purpose art center. We're going to be also rolling out a mental health program because we obviously need to have a holistic learning environment. There's going to be so many programs that the Cotton On Foundation and myself are going to be rolling out at the school. But yes, the administration block for the teachers, a sick room. I mean, who's heard of a sick room in a school that is based in the township? So we really want to be able to create a learning environment where kids do feel proud to be at school and are motivated, including sports grounds as well.
This is actually one of the things that stood out for me, just in terms of the presser that was released on behalf of the Cotton On Foundation. This issue around learner well-being and holistic education being a key part of this objective. I mean, coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, we know how important mental health is more than ever.
Absolutely. I mean, we can't even imagine what it's like for kids of the past 2 years. You know, you and myself were used to physical school, going to school, and so there was a lot of adjusting that's been done. But most importantly, you know, the socioeconomic landscape of a kid that is growing up in KwaMashu. I grew up in KwaMashu, and I understand what it means to be able to be supported in the best way possible, especially when it comes to mental health. You know, the family dynamics as well contribute largely to the well-being of a young student.
Absolutely.
And so we really want to be able to support that. I mean, at the moment, there's also the scholarship mentorship program where we really groom young people from J.L. Dube to be able to be prepped up for university, you know, down to groceries when they get to university. We have 17 students at the moment who are studying towards their bachelor degrees and are recipients of that scholarship program.
I mean, this must be incredible for you, having this kind of homecoming.
Yeah.
In a place where you grew up, being able to make this kind of contribution.
Yeah, it's a full circle moment.
It really is.
It's a full circle moment, I must say. Every day I pinch myself, and I'm so grateful that I get to be able to truly live out my life's calling and continue to just let the compass of my calling just continue to lead me. You know, KwaMashu, and especially J.L. Dube, has always been, you know, at the top of my mind, knowing very well that when I go back home, I want to be able to plow back in the most impactful way by enriching lives. And it's important as well for myself to always remind young people and remind myself that I am a tangible representation of a dream realized.
Of what is possible.
Of what is possible. You know, because KwaMashu has always been known as a place that is so hopeless and destitute that not much comes out of there. And so to be able to be there physically, and that was my homecoming. Yeah. It wasn't at a brunch with champagne, toasting to whatever, but it was surrounded by thousands of young people and motivating them to say, hey, if I can make it out of here, you too.
Amazing. Yeah. Listen, let's not discount brunches with champagne, but
I mean, always a good idea.
I mean, this is really just one part of a number of humanitarian projects that you have on the go at any given moment. Tell us more about the kind of work you've been doing.
Gosh, outside of the very, very busy schedule with the UN as a Goodwill Ambassador in the Refugee Agency, I also have my own foundation, which is the Nomzamo Lighthouse Foundation. And we just finished our back-to-school rollout, and now we're gearing up for our winter drive. And so this year, my big focus was really schools that have learners who have mental disabilities as well as physical disabilities. And so really rallying private sector. I think it's important for private sector to truly make their mark. You know, it's not about picking a school and painting the school and then walking away. We want to be able to have sustainable, impactful projects. And
track the children from the beginning, 100%. Take them all the way through the end of their journey.
Absolutely, absolutely. We really see the ROI. You know, where does the investment go, and what's the return on that investment? That you, when you do your CSI report, say, here we are. And I think Cotton On really does an incredible job at that.
I want to ask you about your reasons for focusing so heavily on the education sector. In fact, we've just come out of a conversation about the happiness index in South Africa. We don't rank very highly. Education as a focus for you, why that sector in particular?
Honestly, school was an outlet for me. School was the place that I felt really safe. I used to take the bus to go to school, and I felt empowered. My teachers were my #1 motivators. They believed in me. They're the ones. They really, really should take the credit of the Nomzamo Mbatha that everybody gets to experience around the world. And I think that's why school and education is so important to me. And also, it gave me hope. You know, it gave me hope that if I do really well at school, if I make something of myself, I can take myself out of the situation. But most importantly, I can release my family from the cycles of poverty. And education is really just that tool, you know. Even though in my 4 years at UCT, I didn't graduate within time, I knew that the discipline that I had learned at UCT is something that prepared me for the discipline that I needed for this industry. And that's why also I went back to school and completed my BCom degree, being Nomzamo, sitting in the classroom and sitting amongst 300 other students and people just looking at you in the corner of their eye like, oh, she's in class. Oh, it speaks. It asked a question today. Because for a very long time, I realized that all my DMs on Instagram were of young people who were saying, Nomzamo, I'm trying to convince my parents that, you know, you too quit at school and you still made something of yourself. Not to say that we should never realize the power of redirection.
Right.
But it was important to me to remove that face of failure, you know, to change the narrative of my life and to also begin a new narrative to say that what you start, complete it.
Yeah. Your message now for other people in your industry, you know, using the kind of pulling power that you have as Nomzamo Mbatha, other people in your industry, what is your message? And it's a rallying call, isn't it? All of us should do our part where we are to the best of our ability. What would be that message?
Start with what you know. Start with what you know. I think the most... The saddest thing is wanting to do something because it looks good, because it makes you look good. And I think that's just really unfair on the people who need it the most. They don't need to be used as accessories. #1, if we're being real at this table. If we're being honest at this table, you know.
Don't Instagram it.
No. Don't. It's not about that. You know, start with what you know. If you're passionate about beauty, then maybe reach out and teach young people about beauty, those who reach out to you. And I really think it's important to understand that you are, whether you like it or not, by sheer virtue of having so many supporters who are young people, you already know that you're a form of inspiration, you're a form of a role model, whether you want that title or not. And our main responsibility is to be able to, #1, be ourselves. It is tough to be in the industry and to be an artist. We have our own problems, we have our own hills and valleys that we have to go through each and every day. And I think I speak for most of us in terms of the recent things that, you know, has been happening within the industry in the loss of young people due to mental health and mental illness. But second of all, if you really truly believe in the future of this country, if you really do, take what you know, take what you have, and the opportunities that come from the different brands who want to work with you. I mean, all the brands know me. You're in trouble if you're a brand who wants to work with Nomzamo, because I don't come and say, I'll just be an ambassador. I'm like, what can we do for young people? How can we empower? You know, I'm that person who, if you open the door for me, I'm like, by the way, there's like 100 other people that need to get into this door. So I really think it's important to be able to leverage the power and leverage the spaces that you're invited in that make you such good money. use that and empower the rest of the people.
Absolutely.
There's no glory in you being the only success story. There's no glory in that. I have no respect for that. Put that on record.
Very, very well said. And with that, you know, the next question will be, what's next? I mean, JL Dube is yet another school that you're doing this incredible infrastructure upgrade in connection with the Cotton On Foundation. Will it be rolled out to other schools?
Well, obviously, we can only bite as far as we can chew. So that's what we're doing right now. Our pledge is, you know, it's a hefty pledge.
Yeah.
There are no multi-million rand schools in KwaMashu besides eThekwini Primary School and, of course, now JL Dube, which are a product of the Cotton On Foundation and myself in the work that we're doing. So we're really just focusing on making sure that we perfect JL Dube and we do our very best. But, of course, there's always other schools that will need the container libraries that can be repurposed. And so we really are.
It doesn't have to be to the scale.
It doesn't have to be to the scale. You know, I truly am a believer of all rivers lead to the greater ocean, and I think that's really what we're looking to do. But at the moment, give us all the support that we need. Please go out and buy the Cotton On Foundation products that you see in store. I'm a firm believer in, if people say 100% of the proceeds of this tissue, of this bag, of this T-shirt, of this water bottle that you buy at the counter at the Cotton On Foundation's Cotton On stores, 100% of those proceeds go towards something that is tangible. You can go to these schools, you will see the work. So please do that.
That's amazing. And all the best with all of the many other projects that you're involved in. I want to just ask you one last question, if I can ask my team for a bit more time. When will the school open?
Well, the school will be open during the construction because we still have the old classrooms, so those are being used as well. And we also have some prefabs that some of the teachers are using or some of the classes are using. And, of course, it's quite a big school, so we're able to do construction while the upgrade is happening. And so we're waiting for December 2023. If all goes well, no pressure to our construction company and our architects, but if all goes well, December 2023, we'll be inviting the media to come and see the work that we have completed. So wish us luck.
We look forward to it, and we wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for coming into studio, telling us about the incredible work that you and the Cotton On Foundation